Hey, one of the things I wanted to start doing is just walking through my trading process every day. And you'll see that it's kind of boring and it's kind of routine. And I've created this application, the Prosper Trading platform. And I just thought it'd be helpful to walk through this. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to walk through literally what I do every single morning for about maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So let's hop into this now. So here I am in the Prosper Trading platform, and you can see first thing up in the upper left-hand corner, you have the different accounts. These are accounts that I have on my Tasty Trade account. And what I like to do each day is I'll come in here to my main dashboard, and it just tells me my premium earnings over time. So you can kind of see that so far for the year, I'm at 618,000. And then for the month of July, and we're on the 16th, so we're about halfway through, I'm at 66,000 for the month. And then I have a goal here of hitting 150,000. I don't know if I'm going to hit that. I don't try to force it. But then down here below is something called theta, and this is a way of measuring the time value of all your positions that you have open. And then I have top stories. I usually like to browse these and just see what things are looking like. Yeah, just I like SpaceX, what's going on there, open, Apple stock, just different things. What's going on with SpaceX? Always some drama there. Then the next thing I do is I come to daily actions, and under daily actions, there's one thing I can do is monitor all my positions right here. And when I say monitor, it means I just want to review their overall status, because sometimes you want to roll it, sometimes you may want to just let it close. Sometimes you can buy them back early, different contracts you have. So that's usually the first thing I like to do is I come in here and I can see that I've got several positions here that have already hit their profit level. So UNH, Oracle's at 82%, Qualcomm's at 80, Iron, okay, Google, Iron. I usually go like to about 65. And what I'll do is what I'm actually doing here is I'm buying these back. Imagine if you had let me pick a cupcake, and let's say you could sell that cupcake for $100 today, and then you could tomorrow buy it back for $5, and then turn around and sell it for $100 that same day, and then the next day buy it back for $5 and then sell it again for $100. That's called velocity of trading, and that's one of the real keys to having a system. Because if you're and this platform really facilitates that, because if you didn't have this, that means that you would have to go and do all of this manually, one at a time in the brokerage, and it just gets very complex. By the way, if you'd like to learn more about trading, you're going to see a link in the description to where you watch this video, and you can go and take my course, and it'll walk you through all the specifics of options trading. I should probably rename that to option selling, because that's what I do primarily, is sell options. So now you can see all these. What I'm going to do is come down here, review them, and in essence, just like any marketplace, there are buyers and there are sellers, and I'm actually at this point, I'm a buyer. I'm buying these contracts back. Think of them as little insurance contracts, and so I like to place the bid for this out in the marketplace between what's called the ask and the bid price. So in essence, that's the difference between, or the interest between, the buyer and the seller. Like, each one's trying to get their best deal. So what do? I put it right in the middle. So to buy these back is going to cost me, well, let me get this one aligned a little bit. If they're not, you can drag it. There we go, good fill zone, near mid. By the way, you can click on AI optimize, and AI will optimize the price. It looks at a bunch of scenarios to do that. Right here, I'm just going to execute this, and it does Up here it says a dry run successful, and now I'm going to submit this as a live order. It's going to cost me $485 to buy these back, but I can turn around and I'm going to sell new ones, and you'll see what that looks like next. So I just submitted that, and it takes it a minute. It's gonna, now it's validating each of these and submitting them through, and yep, I'm getting notifications here on my phone that they're all going through, and here at the end it will give you a polling status and kind of tell you what the, you know, where we're at in the process. So here it's working. Some of those are working. So one thing I can do is you can close this, and I can come up here and look at working orders. So that's the next step, obviously. Well, it looks like most of them closed, candidly. So meaning that I priced them just right, that there were enough, there were enough contracts available to, in essence, because I was buying these for them, to offer them to me at those prices. So that's what happened. So now, another thing you can do with this app is sometimes the reason it didn't fill is because the price wasn't quite right. So you can click on this replace selected and kind of reconnoiter on the price right there, so you can see, there's basically I'm buying it back for 33 cents a share. So that's $33. So I'm just going to confirm that. Let's see if that is a good enough. Yep, and that was good enough to close that out. I'm happy with that as a price. So now that I've done that, the next thing I like to do is come back to automation and then look at sell calls. Now what this is doing is it's looking across all my positions to see if I have any positions that I could sell a covered call on these. This is stock that I own, and it's all eligible for me to sell a covered call. And there's a few things that this does for you automatically. And this is so maddening if you try to do this in a brokerage. You'll lose your ever-loving mind trying to do these one at a time. So what my app does, it goes out with the API. Tasty Trade is the broker. It looks through all of my positions. It says these are the ones that you should offer and sell contracts on to for covered calls. And then it comes back and it says my weekly return would be at this. It tells you what the total amount is. It does an AI scoring kind of rationale. All of these are looking pretty good if they're in the 70s. It tells me when they expire. These expire next week. They're all a 7-day day to expiration. So now that took me what? Just a minute. Now I'm going to come here. Oh, and by the way, let me do this. So you can see that this is going to make $1,257 and $1,257. So let's do this. I'm going to make sure they're all kind of automatically aligned with the mid price. I'm going to send this off. It did the dry run. Now I'm going to submit the live order. It's validating, and off they go. Yep, and I see them coming through. Little confetti goes off, letting you know that they went through. And then again, you can come up to working orders. You don't have to automatically go and reconnoiter on the price here, reset the price. Looks like these filled. Looks like there were none that didn't fill. So great. So the next thing I do is always like after I do covered calls, and I'm going to go and I'm going to evaluate the marketplace today for some contracts that I could sell across these 101 different stocks. And a few things that I have to do is, first of all, I need to set this to my account. I have 3 different accounts I'm working out of. I have a traditional IRA, I have a main cash account, and I have this HELOC margin because I'm using some funds from one of my investment properties. And it's a way to really supercharge your returns when you're building your portfolio on this side, while also supercharging the growth of your property that you own, because appreciation of this particular property in Park City is like 5% per year. So anyway, it's a way to grow 2 assets at once. It's a way that you supercharge your returns, and it's amazing. I can tell you about that more if you'd like to learn it. So what I'm going to do here is, so I select my main cash account, I select cash secured put, I've selected equities, And now I've got all my different positions here, they're not positions, all the different stocks. So I'm going to let this run. And rather than make you wait, I'm going to pause this. It takes about a minute to a minute and a half. So what this is doing is it's going out and it's pulling back from the API with Tasty Trade all of the what's called the contracts in the option chain. And as you can see here, it found 2,271 opportunities. And you might be asking yourself, well, how do I sort through that many positions? Well, I'm glad you asked. So the first thing, I've got $679,000 available in what's called buying power. And what this does, it down here below, so I've got this much buying power available to sell these particular positions or these particular contracts. And when you're selling a cash secured put, in essence what you're doing is offering to buy someone's stock at a certain price should this price drop below a particular market price. So let's take a look at one of these. The first thing I like to do is I don't like to go too far out, so I'm going to sort this list. Think of it as a spreadsheet of columns, and I'm going to use these filters up here, and I'm going to take this down to 17 days. And then the other thing I like to filter on with is this column. It's potential of profit. So I want to be 85% assured that this contract that I sell is going to expire worthless. Now, if it doesn't expire worthless and the stock price, the current, and you can see this, the current stock price for BE, for example, is 217. If it drops below 177.50, then I'd purchase this, basically, is what's happening. But that's okay. If it's assigned to me, then I turn around and I sell covered calls on the stock I own. So, if you do this wisely, you're pretty much, and you're looking at it for the long term, you're pretty much gonna have a very high win rate. My win rate's right between 85 and 90%. So the premium on this, they're willing to pay $5.20 per share for me to say that I'm willing to purchase this stock at 177. And the other thing I like to do, just to kind of see, is look and this is an energy company, I'm going to look at. So this goes out and pulls the chart data back from a trading view. And so I'm just going to look at this now, and you can kind of see, so Bloom Energy Corp, it went way up, and now it's kind of making its way back down. It's kind of, you can see that it's settled here around 217 or so. And then down here you can see what's the RSI. You kind of like to see the movement of it between like 30 and 70. So it's right where I want it, toward the bottom side. It's a little oversold right now, and this is a good time to pick it up. There's a possibility that this could drop a little bit lower and it'll be assigned to me. You can see up here again the price is 217. It would have to drop down to 177, which is just about right here. Sometimes I like to look, when's the last time it was at 177? Well, it looks like it would have been back in April or May. So that's kind of the cycle of the market. I'm okay with that. So I'm going to get close that if I can get my mouse to cooperate. Yeah. All right, so I like that one. Iron, let's see, I kind of like that one too. I think I'm really using up the memory on my machine here. So I'm just going to test these two orders now. It took 3% of my buying power. I'm going to test these two orders. So there they are. So that's I'm going to receive $589 for these. I'm going to go ahead and execute a dry run. And then I'm going to submit these. Processing, and off it went. And I could see that those filled. All right, that was it. That took me about 15 minutes. That's my daily process. Sometimes I'll spend a little bit more time going through more positions, but hopefully this gives you an idea of how I use this system daily. And using this process, I average between 5,000 and 8,000 a day is in returns. So that's my goal, is to be right around there. So I land at the between 125 and 150,000 a month, and that's with a pretty healthy portfolio. But you know, the way that I like to look at this for anyone is it helps you see the potential of what it could be and what you could be orienting yourself toward. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Hang around, because my next one will be coming here in the next day or so.